Salut à tous, cette semaine on vous propose un épisode hors série puisqu'on a pu rencontrer à Londres le créateur des jeux Civilisation, Sid Meier.
Oui, donc l'homme qui a ruiné l'adolescence de toute une génération, y compris la tienne.
C'est ça, allez c'est parti pour une rencontre avec un génie.
We're certainly hoping all of our fans will play Starships. That it's a strategy game, but it is not a civilization game. It's a different approach, maybe a little bit more like XCOM, where you have a strategy layer and you're planning your moves, but then you go into individual missions, individual combat. So there's a lot of strategy involved in building your starships and deciding where to travel, which missions to take on. And then once you get into the missions, there's a neat map with asteroids and all sorts of cool tactics that you can use in the battles based on the systems you put on your starships. So it's a very cool strategy game, but it's not a Civ game.
You said that you believe our future is not there, but not in the close future. So do you think it's in some decades or centuries or?
I think it'll certainly take us a while to get to the stars. We live on a beautiful planet, and but I think it's inevitable. I'm sure there's lots of new technology we'll need to develop before we can do that. But right now, we live in a great world. We get to play video games, So I'm not anxious to leave the planet.
Isn't it too hard or too disappointing to play your own games when you know all the tricks and you know how it works behind?
Actually, that's a good test, I think, whether the game works or not. So even if I know how it works, there's still every map is different, every mission is different, every time the game plays a little differently. So if there is a trick, then we really call that an exploit, and we try to take that out of the game. So after most players play for a while, they know how the game works, they understand the rules. And we want to make sure the game is still a challenge, still surprising at that point. So it's kind of a good test. If the game still is challenging for me and still surprises me, even though I know the rules behind it, then it's going to be a good game for players, even after they've played many, many times. So yeah, I try to make games that I can't actually solve, that still are fun to play, even after I've known all the rules and played it many, many times.
Okay, so you still get surprises when you play your own game.
I still get surprises. I was doing a demo earlier today when my starship got blown up, and I was like, "Well, wait a minute, that's not supposed to happen. This is the easy level." But I still get surprises from my games. Yes.
I'm sure you will hate this question, but what would you answer to people who think that video game is useless or even dangerous?
Well, they shouldn't be playing video games.
Which other video games are so cool that you wish you could have the ID first?
I always said Tetris. It was so simple but so beautiful. That was a game that I should have thought of that first. But I'm happy that that's out there. I really love seeing great video games. That are out. I mean, Minecraft certainly is a wonderful example of a great video game.
There's never any blood or gore in your game, so is that your decision?
Yes. I don't think it's necessary. It's kind of funny, in Railroad Tycoon, which was a game we wrote a long time ago, it was possible for a bridge to go out and your train would go into the river, but we had a little cinematic where everybody was jumping out of the train before it went into so nobody was injured.
So happy end.
And in the last version of Pirates, this is fun. When the enemy ship was sinking, all the crew would be jumping off into the water. So it was almost a joke for a while that nobody ever died in our games.
And have you ever had like a huge crisis with an emergency patching?
We have had one or two of those. We try to not do that, but yes, there's always that one little thing that sneaks through once in a while, and so we're happy to have the ability to fix those things very quickly.
Do you have any insight about Civilization 6?
Nothing that we are able to talk about today. I'm sorry.
Okay, so it's coming in few months, years, and no, you cannot talk about it.
I'm not.
Can you confirm it's
I cannot
it's
confirm or deny.
Oh,
Or
okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay. You seem to be aware that some people just can't resist your games, right?
I'm aware of that. Yes, we have the we call the one more turn phenomenon, which is it seems to be something about civilization that's hard to stop playing, and we actually kind of tried to analyze, what is it about civilization that makes it give it that one more turn idea, and there's
Do you suffer from it yourself?
Yes. Sometimes at work we have to prevent people from playing the new games because we need to actually finish them. But there's something about having many different things, exploring in one area, building a new wonder over here, negotiating with another leader over here. There's always many things happening, and there's never a moment in Civ where everything is stopped and everything is finished.
Just in order to prevent any suicide amongst the Civ addicts when the time comes, can you tell us now when you will stop creating games?
I have no plans to stop creating games. I have the best job in the world. I love making games.
Et voilà, merci à tous de nous avoir suivis pour cet épisode spécial et on se retrouve bientôt.
Ouais, et merci à Sid Meier de nous avoir accordé un petit peu de son précieux temps.